Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we actually have some Pauper. This is the first and sadly going to be one of the last Pauper events at Scholars. They are closing down at the end of the month, early October actually. And here we see Elves versus Black Devotion. Queer and Ranger allowing for a very quick start here. Tapping, untapping. And what else do we have? Nope, not Timberwatch Elf. That costs 3 mana. That is the second time that I've played the wrong card there with Timberwatch. Just really want to get that guy into play. And Well-Wisher. So the witches on the other side of the table there are going to be able to ping pretty aggressively. Going to create a lot of card advantage. Here on turn 2 with 4 bodies. Elves goldfishing unbelievably well. I'll tell you, it is a lot of fun to play. It is a little less fun when your opponent gets to kill a significant portion of your creatures. Let's see what happens here. 2, 3. Timberwatch Elf. Nettle Sentinel. And gonna go ahead and gain 5. So Timberwatch gonna be able to protect, potentially. But also just pump that Nettle Sentinel. Definitely do not want to attempt to just target a 1/1. That will get broken up on board with the witches. And there's Queer and Ranger going down. Just going to gain 5 more off of her. No Birchlore Ranger, no Distant Melody. That's the type of card that would be nice here. Lead the Stampede could also be good. And it looks like sitting back a little bit. And we keep that Priest of Titania alive for a turn. Ooh, and Timberwatch Elf. This is going to force the tap. That is absolutely brutal. This mana base starting to shrink up very quickly. Lead the Stampede. We'll see what this can draw into, but this Witch just doing a lot of work. And not enough mana to really play around it effectively. Really enjoy this mono black control deck. A throwback to the early days of Magic. Really establishing control in a different way than we've seen with blue decks over the years. Trying to get to a point where your opponent has no cards in hand, no creatures on board. Just grind them out through card advantage and attrition. A lot of bombs in there as well. 36 life, a lot to work with, but at the end of the day, whoever sets up inevitability is going to be able to win here. Queer and Ranger, tap, untap. There's that Huntmaster. A bigger threat. 3/3. Going to be harder to remove. Well-Wisher. Gaining even more life. And cannot untap it. And gets Verdict taking out that Nettle Sentinel. Those witches just doing a lot of murder. Oh, and Pestilence. And that is almost insurmountable here. That is going to be able to clear so much. The mana base absolutely crippled here. Playing an elf spell. Getting a token. I believe that is the Sylvan Ranger. That's going to allow for a basic land to be tutored up. One of the opportunities to get a basic island for Distant Melodies. But honestly, that is really not likely to be a valid strategy here with Pestilence on board. Oh, and Geth's Verdict clearing the final hope away. Huntmaster down. Pestilence on board. This game, at this point, kind of regretting having that 36 life. It's just going to drag out the agony. 2 mana available. And wipe out just about anything the deck can offer up at this mana cost. Elvish Vanguard. Nettle Sentinel. Pinging in response. And the Witches are going to be able to tag team it. Oh, he's actually just going to do it now. So leaving just the Witches online, sacrificing that Chittering Rat, just so he can unearth it. And there's a Phyrexian Rager. And now we've got a legit clock here. We've got 6 turns at most. Pestilence can actually take a full turn off of that as well. And Gurmag Angler. And just like that, Black Devotion has set a massive clock here. 10 damage coming in. 10 more from Grey Merchant. Victim of Night KOing another Huntmaster, and that is lethal. So Black with an absolute mangling of Elves there. So much work put in by the Witches, and then Pestilence. Black very good at keeping the board clear when it draws the right cards, and it does have a lot of deck manipulation to rely on. You've got Phyrexian Rager, which cantrips Sign in Blood to draw a couple of extra cards. A very solid deck. A lot of cycling. You're able to run the 4 Barren Moors, your Unearthed cycle. So yeah, this deck definitely has the tools to get the job done. Elves on the other side, if left unchecked, absolutely can get the job done. I mean, this deck can create just incredible amounts of damage, and Birchlore Rangers combine with Nettle Sentinel to just spam the board with massive amounts of creatures. So if you don't have a sweeper, it can go unbelievably wide and then just gift one of those unblocked attackers a massive amount of extra damage through Timberwatch Elf, which could even be untapped several times by Quirion Rangers. So this deck absolutely has the ability to deal a crushing blow when left unchecked. But Mono Black is definitely about checking your creature privilege, so to speak. So here we go on the play. And we get out in front of Mono Black. And not a good start at all here with Nettle Sentinel drawing a Disfigure. 2 mana into Birchlore, Nettle Sentinel, Quirion Ranger. Interesting. Victim of Night taking out that Quirion Ranger. And looks like 2 cards in hand. Essence Ward maybe at the front of my hand there. Not sure what the other card is. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. Not a lot else to do there. But okay, great. So lead the Stampede. It's going to be a 3 mana draw 3 creatures into The time-shifted Soul Warden, that is Essence Warden. Kyle taking a turn off here to reload with Read the Runes. And Birchlore plus Nettle could definitely do some pretty powerful effects here. Access to at least 5 mana. Playing some green spells will get some additional untapping. There's the Elvish. Actually, just forgot the name of the card. It's the one that got downshifted. But we are kind of committing to the board, getting up to a 3/3, getting a couple of Priests of Titania in line, and putting some downward pressure on the life total. So this is looking pretty good. Might be Elvish Vanguard. And we've got a Tendrils of Corruption there, gaining 4. Well-Wisher. 6 damage coming in. That 4 life, a significant swing. Barrenmore being played. And Thorn of the Black Rose, I believe that is. Kyle is now the Monarch. And that might just be too tempting to not swing in and get that extra card. Can't just let him draw an extra card every turn. Viridian Longbow. And gonna do some equipping and shooting. It's got 3 toughness. So managing to clear and become the Monarch. Oh, and Pestilence. That is absolutely brutal. 8 life to play with. Nettle Sentinel just hanging out, keeping Pestilence around. Would have been preferable for him to just heal over, but that 2 toughness kept him around and kept Pestilence there. So that is unfortunate. Gray Merchant now giving back some of that life, and now this is taking a turn very much for the worse. Distant Melody in hand. Just gonna pay 4 to draw 1. That is the best option available, and that is abysmal. Gray Merchant coming in. Another Gray Merchant. A 12-point life swing. And things have gone from bad to worse. Gray Merchant has a massive backside. We're talking 4 points of toughness. That is going to survive Pestilence, killing everything in this elf deck. 18 is way out of range from any type of shenanigans here. And it looks like maybe trying to cobble together a 4 points of damage on this Gray Merchant. And there it is. It has been assembled. But all of these creatures can just get completely cleared by a 2-point Pestilence activation. What a heavy price just to get that Gray Merchant out of there. And there it is, 2 mana, or 1 mana, clear it. Now it's Timberwatch and Nettle Sentinel. consider. There's 2 more. And Phyrexian Rager comes down. And it looks like Pestilence can do it on its own here. Just paying 6. We won't even get to the end step. There it is. Pestilence showing tremendous clearing power. A card that has been around since Alpha and really has not been able to get played very much in recent years. Now, perhaps an all-star of this very fun Pauper format.
That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please help grow the channel by subscribing. You'll be notified when we upload new videos like Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic with commentary, or Untapped, our raw tournament gameplay. Thanks for watching.